Hi everyone, it's Mr. Francy here, and today I am doing a video to celebrate my birthday! Woo! I have had an amazing time on BookTube, and is it fantastic or what that this is the 4th birthday in a row I get to celebrate with y'all here at the channel. It's fantastic. So yay, happy May, happy birthday, and if I may, while I'm at it, a shout out to my mother and my father, who are also born in the month of May, so happy birthday to you all. My mother was born on the 6th of May, my father the 30th of May, and I was smack bang in the middle. I was born on the 12th of May. Funny enough, in case you're wondering, my only other sibling, my sister, was born in March, so the rest of us are all May babies. Usually to celebrate my birthday, I do a birthday book tag, but I've decided not to do that this year, purely because I already done that and I did it for 3 years in a row, so let's mix things up. So I had a thought about what I'd like to do to celebrate my birthday in a bookish way this year, and then it came to me. As you would have already seen from the title of this video, this is the Mr. Francy Book Club Sticker Books Collection. Something like that. I'm sure I've shortened the title below, but it's something like that. And yeah, so what I was thinking was, you know how there are famous celebrities out there who have their book clubs that they run, and some of those celebrities will have books that they choose for their book club be, the cover is edited to include a sticker that is hopefully removable, and if it's not removable, a lot of people complain, like, why do I have this sticker on my book that I can't remove? But anyway, so a great example of this being the Oprah Winfrey Book Club. Obviously that one is a huge one, and yeah, I mean, because it obviously gets a lot more publicity, being that it's one of Oprah's favourite books. And I also recently found out that Reese Witherspoon is doing her own book club as well, so she has little stickers here and there also. So, for today, we are going to suspend current reality, go into a multi-dimensional universe where they've actually asked Mr. Francy, can you please give us 12 books to put a Mr. Francy sticker on for the Mr. Francy favourite books thing, one for every month of the year, and I humbly accepted and said, well, it may take a bit of doing on my end, but I humbly accept. Thank you for asking. So we're going to jump right in. I have not written anything in advance of this video other than the concept idea, so that's what that is. So I'm going to be picking these books live. In order to qualify, the books must be in physical form on my bookshelf currently as we speak, and I need to have read them because I need to specify that because I have books on my bookshelves that I haven't read yet. So yeah, no other qualification needed. I am not trying to look to, you know, make it even with age ranges. I'm not trying to make look to make it even with genres. It just is what it is. I'm going to go up to my bookshelves. First book that screams out to me, yes, this needs to have a sticker, is the first one that I will select, and we'll go through 12 of them. Alrighty, let's begin. So, the first book getting a Mr. Francy book club sticker on it is this book, A Salted Caramel by Amanda Flower. This is book number 1 in the Amish Candy Shop Mystery Series by Amanda Flower. It's an adult cozy mystery series. Book number 1. I love this book. This book has everything that Mr. Francy loves. You know, it's cozy mystery, which I was introduced to cozies, I think about 2 years ago now, and have been lapping them up ever since. I have a goal, literally, to have an entire bookshelf of, like, how many rows do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows, all filled to the brim with cozies. So that's how much I love my cozies. But on top of that, it is a culinary cozy in that we're dealing with some sort of food. That food just happens to be candy, and it's set in an Amish world where the Amish side doesn't take over to the point where it might be a bit uncomfortable. We are in this Amish world with someone who is an Englisher, a non-Amish person, and we are seeing how things are running through their eyes, which makes it very easy for someone who's not Amish to read about. This is just all kinds of fantastic. I am still to this day reading the Amish Candy Shop mystery series. I'm waiting for the next book to come out. It's Gingerbread Something. It's coming out at some point later on in the year. And yeah, this is where it all started. If any book deserves to have a Mr. Francy Book Club sticker on it, it is A Salted Caramel by Amanda Flower. The second book to get a Mr. Francy Book Club sticker on it is this book, Up to No Gouda by Linda Riley. This is book number 1 in the Grilled Cheese Mystery series, cozy mystery series, and that was a bit of a tongue twister, but anyway, and this is a fantastic book. So with Amish Candy Shop, I was saying that I love that it was a culinary cozy, as is this one. That one, Amish Candy Shop, the Salted Caramel, deals with candy, and it was fun to read. This book goes a step further for me because we are in a grilled cheese shop where our protagonist, who I need to find her name. Is it Carly? Yes, it is Carly Hale. It's been a while. Carly Hale opened up this grilled cheese store, which is making all these really cozy, nice, comfy foods of toasties and things like that. I started reading this book. It had been a while since I had a grilled cheese, and by the time I finished this book, I had read, I think I had consumed at least 3 grilled cheeses. That's how good this book is. I became obsessed with grilled cheese. I needed more, because it was so good. So this is probably one that I would recommend to read in winter. It's just, yeah, it's great. Alongside a grilled cheese. Make sure you make a grilled cheese, then start reading while you're eating the grilled cheese. If you can find a way to make that work. But anyway, you know what I mean. Fantastic book. Next up, book number 3 is 12 Sleighs of Christmas by Jacqueline Frost. This is book number 1 in the Christmas Tree Farm mystery series. The author's name on the title is Jacqueline Frost. That is a pen name for the author, Julie Ann Lindsay. Oh my goodness, I love Christmas. How about you? Do you love Christmas as much as me? Let's put that to the test, shall we? I love Christmas. I just allow myself to be wrapped up in the spirit, the energy that is Christmas. It's such a beautiful time of year. And because of this, I've been looking for books that are fully doused in nothing but Christmas to the umpteenth degree, and hadn't found anything till I picked up this book, 12 Sleighs of Christmas by Jacqueline Frost, aka Julie Ann Lindsay. This is book 1. There are 4 books out so far. Julie Ann Lindsay has announced the 5th one is on the way. I cannot wait. But this is just so much fun. So the protagonist, whose name I have temporarily forgotten, Holly White. Wow, it's been a while. Holly White, her family run a Christmas tree farm as well as a cafe, something like that. But every year in this area that they're in, which is Mistletoe, Maine. I used to know this off the top of my head, and now I have to actually look. In Mistletoe, Maine, they have tourists come in as well as the regulars who live there. They play all these Christmas-themed games. It is Christmas to the umpteenth degree, and because it's a cozy mystery, let's add a mystery into the book. So at the same time as playing Christmassy games all the time, let's try and solve a murder. So much fun. Highly recommend if you want something really, really Christmassy to read at any time of year, or the standard in December, this is what you pick up. Start with 12 Sleighs of Christmas and make your way through the Christmas Tree Farm mystery series. The 4th book will be this one, Have I Told You This Already by Lauren Graham. This is an adult memoir, and the reason I'm putting my name, my sticker to this book is because it is such a fun time. If you have ever seen Lauren Graham in anything, whether it be a TV show or a movie, you will know how amazing an actor she is. If you have seen her do anything outside of acting, then you'll know how amazing a person she is. Lauren Graham has released 2 memoirs. This is her 2nd one. The reason I'm choosing this one over the other one, I did love the other one, but the reason I'm choosing this one is because it's selected memories here and there. It says on the cover, Have I Told You This Already? Stories I Don't Want to Forget to Remember. And yeah, it's really a lot of fun. So many laughs along the way. I love Lauren's humor. It's literally like you're having a friend invite you over for coffee and some cake or something, and they are just telling you fun stories about things they've experienced. And, you know, some memoirs can be really, really hard to read because, of course, there are people who have gone through some really tough things in their life. Lauren Graham always finds the way to inject humor into her memoirs, and I absolutely love this. If you want to laugh, add it to your list. Definitely this deserves a Mr. Francy sticker. The fifth book to get a Mr. Francy approved sticker is this one, Divergent by Veronica Roth. There are many dystopians that I could have chosen, but I feel like the Divergent series has the least amount of, what's the word? Hype around it, I suppose. I just think that this was very well written. I will say that there's a reason why I'm not putting the sticker on the entire Divergent series. I am specifically putting it on book number 1. And that is because of how much I love book 1. There are some books in the series I don't necessarily love, but I love the series overall, if that makes sense. Specifically with this one, we follow a woman by the name of Tris Pryor in a dystopian world who needs to decide when she comes of age which faction she's going to live in. In this dystopian future where Tris Pryor lives, the area has been split into 5, 6, I don't remember, something like that, different factions, different areas that all stand for different things and do different things in their own cultural way. So you go where best suits you. The interesting thing about this ceremony is that no one can tell you what to do. The choice is your own. You decide what you're going to do, but also at the end of the day, your faction comes before your family. So you can decide to stay where you were born with your family, or you can decide to leave your family and go to another faction. But if you do that knowing that your faction is your new family, and you're technically leaving your family behind. That's just the beginning of this book, let alone this series. Just a little tidbit to get you intrigued, but it is so fantastic. One of the best things about any dystopian series is the way that the author sells the world building of that world and what made it a dystopian. And my goodness, did Veronica Roth do a great job with Divergent. Highly recommend. Add it to your TBR. Definitely a sticker from Mr. Francy. Book number 6 getting a Mr. Francy sticker is a book that really surprises me, and if I went back 2-3 years ago, past Mr. Francy would have said, you gotta be kidding me, right? But here I am today to say, nay sir, we're putting the sticker on it. It is this book, Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. This is the fifth book in timeline-wise in our world that Stephanie Meyer published in this Twilight Saga series. However, it is a prequel to the first book, so if that makes sense. So she wrote it last, but it's meant in world order to be first. And we primarily follow Edward. This is fantastic. I thought that we were just going to get Edward's retelling of book 1. We basically get Edward's POV, point of view, throughout the entire series, which is fantastic, and we learn other things about Edward along the way that we didn't know throughout the rest of the series. The reason that this book needs to get this sticker from me is because when it was first published, which I don't know when that was. Okay, so my copy said it was published in 2020. When I found out that this was being published, I went on a bit of a rant on my channel. I'm sure you can find it somewhere. Saying I am definitely not buying Midnight Sun. It's just ridiculous. It's the same story all over again. It's just we're following Edward. And why isn't Stephanie Meyer just making a sequel to Breaking Dawn? Why do we need the same thing from a different perspective? But it was that and so much more. So it just goes to show, past Mr. Francy can be incorrect at times when making assumptions. Well, I don't have to tell you the saying, you know how that goes. But anyway, Midnight Sun definitely gets a sticker now from current Mr. Francy because it is fantastic. The 7th book being adorned with a Mr. Francy sticker is this book, The Housemates by Ian Robb Wright. Oh my gosh, how much time do you have? If you've been following my channel for a while now, you practically know what I'm going to say, and if you're new here, hello and welcome. I'll keep it as succinct as possible because we have many books still to discuss, but I've fallen in love with Ian Rob Wright. I started my horror reading journey with Stephen King, as most people do, but Stephen King did not really satisfy me when it came to the majority of his books, so I decided to pick up this book, The Housemates by Ian Rob Wright, when I read the premise of it. Very quick rundown for you. Imagine combining the TV show Big Brother with the film series of Saw together in one for this horror series. It is so good. I thought it would be amazing. It exceeded my expectations and it got me onto an Ian Rob Wright train. I have probably read half of Ian Rob Wright's works to this point. He's released a lot of books at the moment, so I'm making my way through all of them. But if you want a horror that is full on horror, I highly recommend this. If you are someone who wants to dip your toe into horror, skip this one. It won't be for you. But if you are someone who hasn't been satisfied with your horror reads in the past and you want something that is even more horror than you've read before, pick up this book. You will be very, very happy with it. This would probably go on the Mr. Francy book club for Halloween, for October. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. Had to have a sticker from me. Okay, you know what? I'm going to be fair. The 8th book that I'm going to put a sticker on after what I just said is this book, Misery by Stephen King. Okay, the majority of Stephen King books that I've read did not satisfy me at all. Misery is the one standout for me, and I will never let this book go because I just loved it. I had seen the movie probably once or twice going into reading the book. The book is better in my opinion, and this was what I wanted out of a horror. This made me very happy because the other ones that I read of Stephen King, they just didn't leave me satisfied. But I can't say that there aren't any books at all of Stephen King's that I love. This one I absolutely love. It got an overwhelming 5 stars from me. Look out for the titular antagonist of Annie. Oh my gosh. Well, maybe not titular, but you know, the most main of antagonists, Miss Annie. She's absolutely nuts, but we love her in a horror. So yeah, Stephen King, you get 1 sticker from me. Woohoo! I just want to remind you that this order is in no particular order. I'm just going through the shelves on my bookshelves. The reason you need to know this now is because the next book I'm going to show you would have been in my top 2 or 3. So yeah, there's no order at all with this. But the 9th book that I will put a Mr. Francy sticker on to has to be this book, The Gravity of Us by Phil Stamper. This is an YA, yes, YA LGBTIQ plus MM romance contemporary. Yeah. Long story very short, during COVID lockdown, I received a massive box of books from my library. I requested one. I ended up getting, I think, like 20 or 30, which is on my channel. You can check it out if you want to. My library unhaul video. And this book was in there. And if you have watched that video, or if you go ahead and watch that and then come back to this, you will notice that when I picked this up, I was like, oh my gosh, this just looks amazing. I bet I'm going to love this. And I read it and I did. There was no way I was going to get through all 30 of those books, so I had to prioritize with some. So I prioritized with The Gravity of Us. I loved the library copy of this book so much that I risked overdue fees not giving it back to the library till I got my own personal copy, an exact replica of the hardcover edition. That's how much I loved it. So high praise to Phil Stamper. I've almost read all of his works, and I highly recommend him. If you are someone who loves your male romance, hard-hitting contemporaries, I highly recommend Phil Stamper, because in each and every single one, the book that he writes, that is, he finds a way to create a male romance that is classically beautiful, but that is also underpinned by some massive hard-hitting contemporary situation. So yeah, really, really fantastic. I highly recommend The Gravity of Us. Yeah, and as I said, it would be in my top 3 if this was done in order. The next book getting a Mr. Francy sticker might be a bit controversial, but then again, which author hasn't made one controversial choice in their life? I will absolutely stand by this decision. My next sticker is going on this book, The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. Some people love this book, like me. Some people thought it was meh. Some people really, really, really hated this book. So just know that going in. But I absolutely love loved it. Basically, it is a mix between mystery and fantasy. We have our protagonist who, I've got his name, Aidan Bishop. Aidan Bishop arrives at this mansion and a murder has occurred. Everyone that's there is advised that they are going to be in this perpetual time loop where the day continues until the mystery is solved, and only the person who solves the mystery will get out of the time loop. So, who knows what will happen if you don't solve it before someone else does. Maybe there'll be another mystery, who knows. But anyway, so Aidan Bishop obviously has huge motivation to work out who killed, in this case, Evelyn Hardcastle, being the victim. And it was just fantastic. One other little gem I'll give you is that every single day, Aidan Bishop wakes up in the body of someone else who had something to do with the murder. This was just so much fun all the way through. I will tell you, the reveal, for me, let me down. But the lead up to the reveal was so good that I could not take my star rating out on the reveal. I still walked away saying, my goodness, was this a fantastic book. So for Mr. Francy, yes, it gets my seal of approval. My next sticker going to The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. You know, coming into this video, because I hadn't already chosen the books, I thought this would be quite the struggle. I thought maybe I can get 6 and that will be good. And I realized I've only got 2 left that I can put a sticker on. So it's more about having, oh my gosh, I'm already seeing like 3 or 4 that I want to choose after this one that I'm holding, and I'll only have 1 left after this one. So there you go. If you want to see me do more Mr. Francy Book Club sticker books, let me know. Alright, the penultimate book that's getting a sticker from me, book number 11 out of 12, has to. If you've been wondering, Mr. Francy, where is this and why didn't you start with this? Don't worry, I was getting to it. Has to be this book, Mistborn: The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson, which, to simplify, is book 1 in the Mistborn series. This is it's hard to give you the age rating because it was originally released as a YA and then became an adult. It was released as a YA, re-released as an adult. We follow a YA-aged protagonist, but even I still feel it is an adult book. So it's confusing as far as the age rating is concerned, but aside from that, everything else about this is absolutely fantastic. We follow a girl, a street urchin by the name of Vin, who is part of an all-male thieving crew who treat her absolutely horribly. Why? Because she is a woman. Vin, very early on in the book, ends up getting rescued by this amazing hero that I have loved, one of my absolute favorite characters, to the point that I kept calling him my fictional boyfriend, Kelsia, who takes her onto his crew, who are again an all-male thieving crew, or an all-male crew, but they treat her right, which is good. It's about time she was treated well. Also, within this book, we have a Lord Ruler who is very much a tyrant, because it is a fantasy set in a dystopian world. So please don't confuse the two. It's not a dystopian, but it is a fantasy set in a dystopian world. And so because we have this Lord Ruler tyrant, this new crew that Vin's a part of, want to kill the Lord Ruler and bring down his empire so that everyone has the chance to live again, because there is a peasant class in this world called the Scar who are treated absolutely horribly. And so for Scar rights to be better, they figure, crumble this empire and we can set about a new world, basically. Now, the interesting thing about the Lord Ruler is he is immortal. So how are you going to kill an immortal ruler? Well, the book's amazing. I'm just going to say it's so good. And if you're going to start with any Brandon Sanderson book when it comes to his Cosmere, start with The Final Empire. Trust me, I would not steer you down the wrong path. This was heavily advertised to me. I picked it up with high expectations. It exceeded my expectations. It was so good that after I finished reading this book, it was a famous quote that I said back in 2020 that I still remember to this day. This book revolutionized fantasy for me. Yes, it definitely deserves a sticker. And if you love it, you can move on to book 2, The Well of Ascension, and book 3, The Hero of Ages, and all the other Cosmere books. But it all starts with The Final Empire, which is a fantastic book. Thank you, Brandon Sanderson. Okay, I only have one book left, but I can't. I can't just do one more. I need to do two. And so we're just going to call this second last one an honorary mention, even though, quite frankly, it should have just been a list of 13 books that I was doing. But this honorary mention has to be made because of how much I love the book and the series as a whole. And that is this book, How to Vex a Vampire by Alice Winters. In this month, May, I'm actually, the next book that I pick up, sadly, is going to be the final book in this series, book number 5, How to Defy a Vampire. But it all started with me with How to Vex a Vampire. I love this book, have loved every book since, and as much as I'm looking forward to reading book 5, one thing, it's kind of a, you know, I don't know what you call it, but 6 in one, half dozen in the other. It's a, yeah, complicated thing of it's good because of this, but it's bad because of this, which I can't think of what that word is right now, but anyway, and that is, I am looking forward to reading book 5, but once I finish book 5, the series is over, which is really sad, but I'm placing another Alice Winters series onto my 2025 SAS list for sure. Anyway, so the basic premise of this series as a whole, starting with How to Vex a Vampire, is that we follow, depending on the book, we follow different perspectives. Each of the 5 books are a dual perspective, following 2 characters. Generally, it'll be 2 characters from, it will be 2 characters from the VRC, the Vampire Related Crimes Unit, which is a crimes unit made up of vampires solving vampire related crimes. But there is one exception, who is a human, who was in the human division of the crimes unit, who has decided to go into the vampire one and work with them. His name is Finn. We follow Finn in this first book, and Finn's partner, like that he works with on the force, his name is Marcus. Marcus is the other perspective you get in book 1. In every book, this one included, you either get 2 people from the vampire related crimes unit, their perspectives, or you get 1 person from vampire related crimes and 1 person they meet that becomes integral to the story who doesn't necessarily work for vampire related crimes. One of the greatest things about this is the vampire related crimes team is a small team, and so with all the different perspectives throughout each book, you get to know everyone. It just makes the world a whole lot bigger and a whole lot more satisfying. There is steam in this series, this male series, by the way. So be mindful of that. But as far as the chilies, I'll give it 2, like a 2 out of 5 chili rating. Not that high at all, but it is there, so be mindful of it. I liken this, aside from the chili spicy scenes, aside from that, I liken it to a male cozy mystery, even though we're following 2 lead detectives from a, you know, vampire related crimes unit. I still feel it's incredibly cozy and do highly recommend. Alright, the final book, book number 12, that's getting a sticker from me, and it has to, is this book, The Awakening as Told by the Boys by Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. This is technically book number 1A, which makes it book 1.5, I guess, if you will, in the Zodiac Academy series. And it is an adult fantasy series. I started off my read of this incredible series that I have fallen in love with. If you've been following me since I started my journey with this series last year and throughout this year, you will know how much I love this series. I think anytime I pick up any of these books, I say something to the effect of, for those in the back, I love Zodiac Academy. I love this series. Like, let me tell you, I am obsessed with this series. It's going to be a tough day when the series is done. In saying that, very quick warning, 10 out of 10 spice. Or 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, whatever you can call it, full-on spicy moments happen in this series. The very quick way to explain what's happening outside of the spicy stuff is, I liken this series to the adult version of Harry Potter, where instead of it being a school for witchcraft and wizardry, it is a school for elemental magic, for adults. And so, yeah, really, if you love the whole, you didn't know you had magical abilities, you find out you are, and so therefore you go to school to learn about your magical abilities trope, you will love this series. Unlike another series that I ended up DNFing, this series does that school trope all the way through to wherever I'm up to now. I just finished book 6, and we're still at the school, so yeah, highly recommend for that reason. But I am obsessed with this series, and the reason I'm picking this book over book 1, The Awakening, is because the very first line in this book drew me in, which I'm going to quickly read to you, and it says, An explosion of wayward fire magic crashed into the wall above my head, and I ducked down as Lance threw up an air shield to protect us. The unearthly shriek that followed the attack was enough to make any limbs shiver with the force of the creature's power, the nymph using its gifts to try and block our access to our magic. "I'll take the right!" I ground out the order, and Lance nodded, holding his bright silver sword in his hand. My goodness, I was motivated from the get-go, the very first page, and I have not been able to put the series down since I began. If any book, any series was going to get the Miss Francy sticker, it's the Zodiac Academy series. If any book was going to get the sticker, to be The Awakening as told by the boys. Wow, this video took a lot longer than I thought, so we're going to leave that there. Let me know what books you would put your own stickers onto in the comment section below. But in the meantime, that is where I am going to leave it. Yay, happy birthday to me, and may there be many, many more on BookTube. I'm going to let you all go. Peace, blessings, and so much love. Please do be kind and love one another, and spread your sparkling energy all throughout the world, because we all know the world can do with it. And in the meantime, happy reading. Bye, everyone!